This is a story of reading comprehension. We have an author. The author has created a passage, right? When the author decided to create the passage, or the author had some idea in their mind to tell people. The author did not want to confuse the audience. Author wanted like, share, subscribe. And what does the question setter do? We have a question setter has used that particular passage and created a question with 4 answer choices with the sole purpose of trapping us. The objective of the question setter, the objective author, very different. And we are in the middle. That is us trying to navigate this. So in the process, what happens? Very simple thing. The first thing is that we retain the information after reading the passage. Hopefully all the key ideas. Then we evaluate the question. In fact, we are actually evaluating the options. That's what we are doing. And in many cases, we get confused. We can eliminate 2 answer choices. We are stuck with 2. And then sometimes we have to come back to the passage to recall the information. Now, if you are a champion reading comprehension test taker, what you should do is try and keep this to the minimum. What if you are able to navigate the passage by retaining the key ideas and just evaluating the questions and done? You don't have to recall information from the particular passage. 2 skill is important. One skill is my ability to retain all the key ideas. And the second skill is to evaluate option. And in this lesson, we will talk about evaluating options. What is a wrong option? There are 2 kind of questions. One of the question that is directly find out the true answer, right? Which of the following is a valid inference for the passage? I'm just saying inference, right? And you are actually identifying the answer choice would be the one that is true. And all the traps will be the wrong answer choice. There could be a question which is framed like this. Which of the following can be inferred except, which means 3 statements are true, which by the way would be wrong in this case because we have to identify the trap. What is a trap? Trap is a deviation from the passage. Now, if you look at any question, it doesn't matter which of the following is true based on the passage, which of the following is inference, which of the following author agree, disagree, whatever it is. The information is there in the passage. So whatever is a true statement is completely based on what is given in the particular passage. What is therefore a trap is some sort of a deviation from the information given in the passage. The deviation could be absolute, which means it could be absolutely something that is false. But there could also some deviation which are not false. Now this is something that a lot of you don't understand. You start think, sometimes you think, the answer choice is close. 2 answer choices close. No, there are no close options. She is very close to me. Sure, no, she's not. No. Just because you think someone is close to you, they are not close. There are no close options. There is right options and there are wrong options. Okay, let me just explain what this means. Okay, just to understand what this deviation actually means. So I'm just going to take, okay, Jijo, which is me, has been teaching for the past 20 years. Let's count 20. Okay, that's a statement. I've been teaching for the past 20 years. Statement number 1. Inference. Jijo's teaching experience is more than 5 years. You would say absolutely true. Yes, it is true. Right, based on this statement at least. Jijo's teaching experience is less than 3 years. But that is false. That is an out and out deviation. But what about things like this? Jijo is married. Don't say false. Don't say false. What? He's been teaching for 20 years. Who's going to marry him? No, we don't know. I think this is like cannot be determined. Can't be determined. What about Jijo is a great teacher? Don't say cannot be determined. This cannot be determined, and also things that are called uncertain. So these traps, whatever these traps are, by the way, could be blatant contradiction or things that are uncertain. Right? And what the traps that we actually fall into is these uncertain ones. Now the question is, which is easier to identify? The true answer choice or the trap answer choice? Which is easier? I mean, both answer choice have got collection of word, which is kind of easier to identify. Now, sometimes it happens when you read a particular passage really well, you read the four answer choices, one of the answer choices is saying, pick me, please, pick me. That would happen. And in that case, you're very joyful, you pick the answer choice and you move on. But in many cases, that just does not happen because the wrong answer choice is so appealing. For a true answer choice, the words, every single word has to be true, right? There has to be no deviation whatsoever from the passage. There could be synonymous words used, similar words used, similar ideas used, but there will not be any deviation. Every single element of the particular passage would be wrong, would be correct. Sorry, what I'm saying. Every single element of the answer choice would be something that is correct. But when it comes to a trap answer choice, all we need is one word to be wrong. That's all you need. At least one word to be wrong. You tell me between these two things, which is easier to identify? Yes, it is. Looking for a flaw. Looking for a flaw is much more easier, and it actually comes very natural. If I ask you, tell me some good things about that particular person, you'll say, oh, tell me if the flaw of that person. Yeah, we start listing it down. Look at in our preparation itself, we don't have anything good to say about a preparation. All we do is keep cribbing, looking at all the bad things. So, what we want to do is look for a trap. But for us to look for a trap, we should know what these traps are. And that is an exercise that we're going to do now. I'm going to show you a passage with 8 answer choices. 8. Only one answer choice is correct, 7 answer choices are wrong. Or 7 traps. Or we'll learn 7 traps. So I want you to pause the video. In the next slide, when I show the next slide, pause the video, solve it. Otherwise, there's no fun. You have decided to watch till here, so might as well go all out. Okay, here it comes. Are you ready? You're ready, right? So we have this passage here. So here is a passage with 8 answer choices. Only one is correct. The question is talking, simple question, one of the questions, which of the following is the main point of the passage? Right? Pause the video, solve it. Go. Alright. Now, if you have got the answer choice to be number 1, you got it right. And every other answer choice is wrong. Oh, nothing is close. They are wrong. And I'm sure that you probably would have marked one of these two. You fell for a trap. Now let's understand the trap. Before that, let's quickly understand the passage. It's a short one. We'll read it and understand. The passage says, in today's sporting landscape, the obsession with winning has overshadowed ethics. Already we can see a author who's a little unhappy. Okay. The win at all cost philosophy encourages cheating, aggression, and disregard for sportsmanship, undermining the principles of fair play. This decline is evident in the rise of violent fan behavior, performance-enhancing drugs use among performance-enhancing drug use among athletes, and even the pressure placed on children in youth sports. Author is basically saying that this win at all cost mentality has overshadowed ethics. That is what happened. There is a problem. This obsession with winning has overshadowed ethics. What is the second paragraph saying? How often do we hear the statement, everybody cheats on income tax, so why shouldn't I? Why did the author talk about income tax as an analogy? That's not the main point. Everybody cheats on income, why shouldn't I? Sociologists have written about the alienation felt by many Americans, and one of the several kinds of alienation is normlessness. Society's rules are vague and hard to discern, and besides, few people follow them. In fact, only a fool would adhere to strictly to rules that everyone else ignores. A recent article in Newsweek was entitled, "Are you a tax chump or a tax cheat?" Its thesis that big companies often use tax dodges and pay little or no taxes when the average person coughs up an inordinate percentage of his or her income yearly. Newsweek says the corporate America has a gift for finding loopholes that are legal. But does that make it right? Is it any wonder that in a capitalist society which worship competition, finding tax loopholes is considered creative? Especially if such manipulation give a company or individual an edge over competitors. Why should sports be any different? The author is making an argument. Yeah, everybody does it. Why can't I do it? Why? What is sports so different? There is one compelling difference. Yes, it is different. Author is back. Author is back. Sports are supposed to appeal to the ethics of fair play. Sports, both professional and amateur, are supposed to teach children sportsmanship, not gamesmanship. Gamesmanship is winning, doing cheating, beating, and all. Sportsmanship is sportsmanship. Sports is supposed to teach the value of honest competition, win or lose. He's saying that you could probably say that in income tax, people don't pay. Other than the stupid logic, sports is supposed to be ethical. And that is going down. In our morally relativistic society, however, the so-called virtues of sport have gotten lost and seems to have been replaced with a win-at-all-cost ethic. Instead of preparing young men and women of a life that focus on fairness, we are focused on success and getting away whatever we can. Author is back. So what with these virtues in sports? What has happened today is that virtues is down and ethics is down, and author win at all cost mentality is what is up, and author has a complete problem with this. Author finds this problematic. This is the passage. So what is the key idea? The key idea is this only, that in today's society or morally relativistic society, the virtues of sports have gotten lost and seem to have been replaced with win at all cost ethics. That's the point, no? So if you look at answer choice number 1, you will find that it is true. In our morally flexible society, in today's sporting language, flexible, relativistic, flexible, same. Sports virtue, the virtues of sports are overshadowed, has been gotten lost and seems to have replaced, overshadowed by a win at all costs mentality. There you go. This has to be something that is absolutely true. But now we need to understand what are the problem with other answer choices. Let's start with answer choice number 2. If you have marked answer choice number 2, you fell into this trap. The win at all cost philosophy has had no major significant impact in the arena of sportsmanship. This would be absolutely false. It's like exactly the opposite. The win at all cost mentality had no significant impact. Author is saying it has got a huge impact, in fact a negative impact. This is absolute contradiction, absolute falsehood. Okay. I don't think that you marked answer choice number 2. If you marked answer choice number 2, it's like, why did you read the passage? Let's look at the third one. Now there is a trap. The pursuit of success has overshadowed traditional values, leading to decline in ethical standard. Is too broad. The passage is specific about what? The passage is specific about sports. We're discussing sports. When you're discussing sports, when you talk about the main point, the passage, this one is too broad. What we know is the decline in overshadowing ethics in sports. They're saying that a traditional value. Who is talking about traditional values? Yes, talks about virtues and stuff, but this is too broad. What about this? In professional sports, the win at all cost mentality has undermined the integrative competition. Why are we making it narrow? Why only professional sports? He's saying it's both professional and amateur, all kind of sports. You actually see that this is narrow. So answer choice number 3 and answer choice number 4 is playing around with the degree. If the passage is discussing about sports, the answer choice has to discuss about sports. Don't make it broader. Don't make it narrow. It is not just discussing about professional sport, though this might be a sort of true statement, but it's talking about the main point of the particular passage, right? So this is narrow. Now let's look at answer choice number 5. You marked it, right? You know what? There is a trap. So when you're reading the answer choice, you look for a trap, which means you read in chunks, and look for a problem. In today's world, No problem. The relentless pursuit of victory at any cost, relentless pursuit of victory, win at all cost mentality, no problem, has eradicated. Wait a minute, did it eradicate the virtue of sportsmanship? If it got lost. I mean, it's a missing person. Did not get murdered. The murder did not happen. Just missing person only. So eradicated, you would say, it is little more extreme as a position than what is given in the particular passage. So when you things like only, always, never, most, best, usually that's a red flag. I'm not saying automatically they are wrong if it's a deviation from the passage. Usually in passages, the author don't take extreme positions. But if they do, it'll be okay. But usually they don't. Your author has said that it got lost. It is overshadowed. That does not mean that that's eradicated. That is extreme. Let's look at answer choice number 6. Did you fall for it? Or did you fall for it? Yes, you fell for it. You know what? In a morally rational society, we are not talking about rational society. We are talking about relativistic society. Where does this word come from? Where winning is everything. The true purpose of sports has tragically been lost. Rest everything is okay. Where does this come from? Nobody is talking about morally rational society. It is morally relativistic, flexible, relativistic. It's alien. This is alien. Something that is not mentioned in the particular passage. Just add it. Look at answer choice number 7. Sports aim to instill fair play, sportsmanship. Sports aim to instill fair play, sportsmanship, and the value of honest competition at all levels. Actually, this is a true statement. Sports aim to this may be a true statement, but does not answer this question. This is what I'm going to call as sidetracking. This sidetracking is something that the question setter uses most of the time. There are a lot of different ways you can do sidetrack. You know what sidetrack essentially means? The question is asking about main point. That's the main point. But there are a lot of information that is here. Income tax could be one. I could probably put an answer choice which talks about income tax. A true statement that does not answer the question. There are other ways we could do it. For instance, there is income tax mentioned here. A. There is sports overshadowing ethics in sports happening in B mentioned. I could create random connection between these two things. I could say because of our attitude towards income tax, the sporting in the sporting language, we are now obsessed with win at all cost philosophy. We could do this random connection, sidetracking. We could do A is because of B. A is after A is a cause of B. A happened after B. All these are other kind of sidetracking. You can see these kind of sidetrack in many of these RC passages. You have to. This is a very dangerous one. Look at the last one. It is shameful that today's morally lax society prioritize winning, not inning. Sorry, winning. You might be thinking, what is inning? Winning. Winning at all costs over sportsmanship spirit. It is shameful. Author has made a rational stuff. This is like too much of the tone is not right. There is a tone mismatch here. So that is all the traps. It could be broad or narrow. It could be extreme. There could be alien stuff added. They could sidetrack it. Or they could create tone mismatch. Basically, the beast. This is the trap. Your trap will be one of these things. I'm not asking you to pinpoint and focus on they're trying to identify and give a name to these traps. A lot of people call it different names. What you have to do is develop the ability to pick traps. Now the next time when you solve a reading comprehension passage, fair enough, you may not be able to pick it while solving it. Once you have done solving the passage, you redo the passage once again. When the second time you do the passage, you go to each of the answer choices and then you start looking at the answer choice and go, oh, that's a trap. Now, when you look at the correct answers, don't look at the explanation. Explanation merely tells you what the answer is. Explanation never tells you what your problem is. You have to develop the skills. Okay, just pick the correct answer. Assume the correct answer to be true. then go back and check again. All right, that's a trap. And then go look at the solutions and stuff. This skill you can develop, you have to develop. When you start developing these skills, you will find that reading comprehension is not that difficult.